She's got a lot of financial problems. And like, regardless of bankruptcy, you know, the IRS don't go away. It's not, you cannot declare bankruptcy and get out of taxes. You know,
never
look,
can get out of your taxes ever.
never. The IRS will work with you. They'll put you on a payment plan. She's making $1 million from Housewives. You know, 500,000 is going to us, or seven, whatever it is. But I mean, the woman is working to pay. I mean, and then I guess we could get into, you know, like, is she like living a pious enough life? I mean, you know, driving the Range Rover and all that in the Glen, but I mean, that's a whole nother thing. But regardless,
the document goes on to reveal
difference?
that Erika and Tom have been found liable. And now they're looking at, apparently the IRS is looking to take back even more personal belongings and other property to pay for the debt. Further interest and fee will accrue at the rate prescribed by law until paid. The Franchise Tax Board of California compiled with all the provisions of Part 10, blah, 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 division tax code determining and assessing the tax. They said amounts are due and payable and have not been paid. Said lien attaches to all property and rights for such property now owned.
And that's why, if I were Erika's lawyers, not only would I advise her, don't, you know, mention victims or anything, because it could like show guilt. I would also say that, you know, this is a whole part of why Erika is not, in a way, probably helping victims. You know, it's more like, as a lawyer, look, the lawyer doesn't give a shit about the victims at all. I'm sorry. The lawyer gives a shit about Erika. That's their fiduciary duty. That's their ethical duty. Sorry, maybe not fiduciary. That's their duty.
Yeah,
sorry.
Sure. Yeah.
So, because I'm reading this article at the same time, but I mean, so the point is, like, you have to say to your client, like, you can't be giving away any money for anything, because, girl, you need it all. They're coming after you. And, you know, again, I'm not crying a river for Erika. I'm just saying, like, she has financial, I don't think she has criminal problems. I don't think she ever will. That's my opinion. She has real financial problems. Like, you say go find it, I say go find the Scooter Braun, and also don't fucking piss Rinna off. Piss off Kyle. Do not piss off Diana. Don't do it, girl. That's your ticket.
You're gonna live with Diana.
Yes.
You gotta live with Diana. You better be doing a collab with Asher. I mean, get on his fucking piano.
What about that?
Do a collab, come out with a goddamn album, let him pat the puss, whatever it takes, sis. I mean, I do wonder what's going on in her inner circle, because in addition to this, again, this is reality blurb, so I'm not sure, you know, I'm assuming this is accurate because they are citing legal documents, but they say she owes $4 million as well, she and Tom. I mean, it's just, this is getting overwhelming. Like, when will it end? Plus your lawyer fees. I'm like, I don't know.
So, right. So that's where it's like, you know, yeah, like, her life is better in a sense than it was 2 years, but this girl has major. So that's where it's like, right, like, if you didn't know any of this and you were just married and now you're inheriting this mess, there's a whole other side. And that's where, yeah, you have a moment of like compassion. I see your side. Listen, Kim D is right there with you. She is all about being an Erika fan, and I'm like, maybe not as pro as you guys, but I'm not, and I see the side of it. I do. I also don't think she knew. I will agree. I agree with you. So,
and then it's like,
I feel it's a woman who now has to keep her head down. And, you know, it's, to me, I still think her delivery is horrible, but you can't worry about victims or anyone when your life is just, you have to worry about yourself. I mean, you do. It's so easy for people to say that when you're the one who's literally, your life is ruined because of some man. You got to figure out how to live your own life. And then you could worry about everyone else. But I don't think she's anywhere near having it all figured out. Granted, we see her patting the puss, like you said, on the TV, and we can't feel that sorry for you. But look, even if Beverly Hills starts filming in January, it's still, if your $1 million is supposed to be deposited in like October, and now it's not deposited for, it's still 6 months of making like zero from that source. It's a big difference. It's half a year that your money's not coming.
She has to have no money. I mean, she has to have no money. My thing this past season with Erika, I felt, and I thought she had a really vulnerable moment where she almost cried, but then Andy just moved on at the reunion. I mean, I got Erika that she's basically saying, guys, I am a victim too, yet you all don't fucking care. All you're worried about is like that I'm not crying for the victims. And she's like, why aren't you guys crying for me? I didn't.
And by the way,
this man, I thought this man, I would have done anything for this. And I do think she genuinely loves Tom. Like, even though Tom is scum of the earth, you know, I mean, Tom made her dreams come true, even though he was robbing people to do it. So I don't know. I get Erika. I feel so bad for her. I just don't know how you come out of this, because I'm trying to even think, like, are we going to see her maybe selling like endorsements? Like, could you and I like buy an endorsement package and she promotes this podcast? I mean, I don't know. You know, is it going to get there?
I'll buy it.
I mean, what's she going to do to make money? I just think you ain't going on tour. Tour costs a lot of money.
Go on a stripped down tour, because I'll come. But I mean, I told you, and we don't need to rehash it. I saw that Pretty Mess shit, and it was oh my God. I literally, this is before this. I stood there before this whole thing with Tom, and all I thought was like, this high maintenance bitch is bleeding this 80-year-old man dry, because this is expensive. I remember thinking that, like, holy shit, you're not making money from this. It was like they were in these small venues. It was like, how much are you making? I mean, I've done live podcasts. I mean, let me tell you guys, it ain't that much money when it's all said and done. But I agree with you, and I think she has real financial issues now. Now, moving along to, well, keeping it on Beverly Hills for a minute. I don't know if you saw, like, Mauricio was on Watch What Happens, and he says the rudest Bravo celebrity ever. Listen, I also think that he couldn't really think of an answer right away. So he couldn't really think. He says, shocker, Lisa Vanderpump. I'm not sure. I just think, you know, he didn't really, I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't think that because of this whole thing. I think, you know, Mauricio went, okay, whatever. And he said that he, immediately apologized to Garcelle after he realized that they were laughing. Not really much there, but Mo is doing some press because of buying Beverly Hills. I wonder if Kyle is just, I mean, there's no way, and Kyle has even said this, but like, she has to have just been like, oh, I don't want you to do this show. I mean, she says it. It's a business show. I told you, I watched it. It was phenomenal. I loved it. But between just knowing how, I mean, her and Farrah and Alexia, like, you know, the media interviews, it's just like, you're in the public, it changes things. So you're not coming on behind the velvet rope to file your nails. It ain't going to end well. Like, that's how all the media is. Like, I think Kyle's just like, I know how to play the game and you guys have to learn for yourself. I mean, she's even said she didn't really want them to do the show. I don't blame her. I honestly don't blame her.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Knowing, like, you know, every shit you take, every time you wipe your fucking nose, every time, you know, you piss incorrectly, someone's going to be there to tell you all the things they hate about you and how you're, you know, this and that. I mean, also, by the way, we've also got a lot of angry people lately with us. Like, are you going to speak about Balenciaga more? I'm like, first of all, we spoke about it. I mean, if you don't listen to this and every word we say, I can't
Did we speak about it? I forget. Like, I like the memory.
I spoke about it on